How you doing, guys? I used to like to watch magicians when I was younger. It used to kind of fascinate me how they could pull things out of thin air, or so it seemed. The magicians I grew up watching wouldn't hold a candle to some of the things they're doing today. But I started wondering, how do they pull this off? And they'd always keep that one hand moving. But just for shits and giggles one time, I watched the hand that didn't appear to be moving. See, what they did, they kept everybody distracted with one hand, and they would reach into their shirts or wherever with their other hand, and things would miraculously appear. That was called sleight of hand. Today, I don't know how they do it. They're kind of freaky today. This is something I noticed when I was a JW, the sleight of hand. It was about 2011. I started getting very frustrated with the organization and everything that was going on. And like I mentioned at one point, I was under the assumption that everybody was seeing what I was seeing. But while everybody was kept busy watching the piddly things, they would kind of touch on subjects without actually touching on them. They were getting away with murder. It was discovered that they were part of the UN for a decade. Then many of us find out just how bad the child abuse problem actually is in the organization. It's amazing that the current JWs, there are many that still think that's apostate lies. Well, I started talking about it to a few people. Like I said, I thought they were seeing the same thing I was. Wasn't too long before I realized I was beating a dead horse, that it was going nowhere. If they didn't see it on their own, nothing I could say could get them to see it. I get very frustrated with it, but I pretty much kept to myself, and it wasn't too long before I was finally out of the organization. That was my frustration with JWs. I haven't been on YouTube almost 5 weeks now. I pretty much kept my face off of it. I've been very frustrated with people around me. I haven't had a whole lot of much of anything to say. Anytime you talk to somebody, they're either talking about the race riots, this flu virus that's going around, and that's all people talk about. And I am getting so fed up with it. I primarily am tired of a lot of ex-JW's views on it as well. And I'm pretty much done with Facebook. I mean, the drama and the douchebaggery on Facebook, I'm pretty much fed up with. I mean, granted, everybody has an opinion. And one thing I have made clear on my Facebook page, it's your page, it's your opinion. What pisses me off is when I post something, and for the most part, I keep things on Facebook light because I don't like talking about the current events. I don't like talking what the media is pushing, because unfortunately what people are missing is what's going on in the background. They're seeing this, they're kept divided, and they're kept fighting. On the rare occasion I post something somewhat serious on my page, it never fails that somebody or bodies who never comment on my page will have a problem with what I posted. And these are people who have never really said anything negative on their pages. I guess I'm not entitled to my opinion. And I see a lot of shit on Facebook that I am totally fed up with hearing. Of late, I haven't been really commenting on a lot of people's pages because I'm not in agreement with anything they're pushing. Unfortunately, ex-JWs I thought would be more sensitive to the things going on because they were buffaloed for so many years. You would think that they would see this, that the media is pulling their snatch hairs and directing which way they go. And anybody who thinks that this upcoming election in November is going to change things, I got news for you, it's not. In my lifetime, I've seen presidents come, and I've seen presidents go, and the problems are still here, and the problems have not changed. No, the situation we're all going through now is not going to change, regardless who gets in the White House. I don't care if you're a Trump supporter or a sniffy Biden fan, it's not going to change. If it was going to change after the election, why wouldn't it change now? It's not going to. But to be honest with you, for the last month, I haven't had a whole lot to say. I've been primarily keeping to myself, even in my personal life. I really don't want to talk about the current events. I am so fed up with it. Because unfortunately, people are not seeing what's going on. I don't want to talk about the hand that's waving in my face. I want to see what's going on behind the curtain. And to be honest with you, it does me no good to even talk about it, because then you hear, oh, you're crazy, you're a conspiracy theorist. Unfortunately, even the people that seem to be awake are counting on the election to change things. Guys, it's not going to change. Well, that's primarily why I haven't been on YouTube of much of late. And like I said, I am done with Facebook. Too much drama, too much bullshit.